The monster in the cage. The night sky was quiet. Then something came. Fast, burning, loud. A ball of fire rushed through the clouds and crashed into the ground near the human colony of New Terra. People screamed. Windows shook. Alarms began to ring. A small patrol of soldiers ran toward the crash site. Their boots crushed dry grass and dust. The air was thick with smoke and heat. As they got closer, they saw a broken ship, strange and dark, not human-made. Lights flickered on its surface. And then, they saw her. A tall figure stepped out of the wreck. She was not like them. Her skin was pale blue, her eyes silver. She had long arms, thin fingers, and glowing marks on her neck. She didn't speak. She didn't attack. She just looked, scared. But the soldiers didn't wait. "Monster!" someone shouted. "Take her down!" another yelled. Bright guns flashed. The alien woman raised her arms to protect herself. A glowing shield appeared, but only for a second. She was weak, tired, maybe hurt. The shield broke. She fell to her knees. They chained her. They brought her to the colony base. Inside a metal room, they locked her in a glass cage. Cameras watched her from every corner. People gathered around to see her. Children stared. Soldiers laughed. Scientists took notes. "She's dangerous," said one officer. "Look at those eyes." "She's not human," said another. "She could kill us all." So they gave her a name, Monster. No one asked what she was called in her own world. No one tried to understand her. She sat in the corner of the cage. Quiet. Still. Watching. Days passed. She didn't eat much. She didn't sleep much. But her eyes were always open. Always watching. One morning, a group of children walked by. A little girl, maybe 6 years old, came close to the glass. She looked at the alien woman, not with fear, but with wonder. Then she tripped. Her knee hit the floor. She cried. The alien woman moved closer. Her hand touched the glass. It glowed soft, blue light. The girl's knee stopped bleeding. Her pain disappeared. The child smiled. But the soldier nearby pulled her away. "Don't go near that thing," he barked. "She's just trying to trick you." The alien woman backed away slowly. Her eyes dimmed. In another part of the base, a young engineer named Kai was fixing power lines. He wasn't a soldier. He didn't carry a gun. He didn't laugh with the others. He watched the alien woman from the security cameras. Every night, every shift, something felt wrong. She never acted violent, never attacked. She just sat, silent, alone. One night, Kai noticed something strange. The temperature in her cage was too cold. The lights were too bright. No one gave her a blanket. No one gave her clean water. She was suffering, and no one cared. Later that night, Kai stood outside her cage. His hands were shaking. He held a small bottle of water. The alien woman saw him. She moved slowly toward the glass. Their eyes met. Kai didn't see a monster. He saw fear. He saw pain. He saw something human. He placed the bottle near a small slot. She took it. She drank. Her eyes closed for a second. Relief. Kai whispered, "I'm sorry." She tilted her head. No words, but her eyes softened. Kai left quickly. If someone saw him, he could lose his job. Maybe worse. But he came back the next night. And the night after that. He brought her fruit. A blanket. A picture of the stars. He tried to understand her. She responded with gestures, soft lights from her hands, and drawings on the glass. She showed him a symbol, a burning sun and a shadow over it. A warning. Kai felt something cold in his chest. She didn't come to attack Earth. She came to warn it. But no one would listen. One night, the base was quiet. Everyone was asleep. Kai stood in front of the cage. He had made a decision. He looked at the control panel. He had memorized the code. One press, and the door would open. He looked at her. "I don't think you're a monster," he said. He placed his hand on the scanner. The cage door clicked. He opened it. The alien woman didn't move at first. She looked at him carefully. Kai took a deep breath. Then he said the words that changed everything. "Come with me." The alarm didn't go off. The cage door was open, and for the first time since she came to Earth, the alien woman stood free. But she didn't run. She stood still, tall, silent, staring at Kai, the young engineer who had just broken every rule in the colony. For a moment, time stopped. The only sound was the soft humming of machines around them. Kai's voice was low, almost shaking. "I don't know why I'm doing this," he said. "But I believe you." She tilted her head, studying him. Then slowly, she stepped out. Not with anger, not with fear, but with strange grace, like someone walking in a dream. 1 hour earlier, Kai sat in the dark, staring at a small silver disc. It was something she gave him. She had drawn a symbol on the glass wall the night before, a shape that matched this disc. He didn't understand it, but when he held the object, it hummed. Warm. Alive. She had placed it in the food tray like a secret gift. And then, she pointed to the stars. He knew what she was saying. Something was coming. Something worse. And no one would believe her except him. He looked at the monitor. She was sleeping or trying to. Her knees pulled up to her chest. Shivering. Forgotten. He stood up. "I'm done watching," he whispered. "I'm getting her out. Back to present. The escape begins." Kai led her through dark hallways. They moved fast but quiet. Her steps made no sound. She followed him like shadow follows light. Security cameras were off. Kai had shut them down. But only for 7 minutes. After that, everything would reboot. They had to move. She paused near a metal door. Inside was a lab. She looked through the glass and saw her own blood in tubes. Her skin in jars. Her image on cold screens. Her face tightened. Not angry. Not afraid. Just sad. Kai touched her arm. "No time," he said. "Please come." She looked at him, then nodded. They ran again. They reached an old service tunnel. Unused, dusty, full of rust and broken cables. No cameras here. No guards. Just silence. She stopped. Her hand touched the wall. The blue marks on her skin glowed. Just a little. Then a line appeared, drawn in light, like a hologram. Kai gasped. A map. It showed something, not just Earth, but space. A dark shape moving toward Earth. Massive. Like a storm cloud made of metal. Kai whispered, "Is this your warning?" She turned to him, raised her hand. The image changed. Now he saw her planet. Burned. Broken. Silent. He understood. Her world was already gone. Earth was next. Suddenly, a voice from the comms. "Security grid reboot complete. Sector 9 online." Kai froze. "They're going to find us." The alien woman looked ahead, calm. She pointed toward the tunnel exit. Kai didn't think. He just ran. Back at the base, alarm triggered. A soldier looked at the empty cage. Then at the open system panel. "Breach!" he shouted. Someone helped the monster escape. Meanwhile, in the forest outside, the night air was cold. Trees stood like silent watchers. Kai and the alien woman stood under the stars. She looked up. Her eyes glowed, just a little. Then she made a sound, soft, melodic, not a word, not a scream, but something like a song. And somewhere in the sky, a satellite blinked. She was sending a signal. A message. Kai watched in awe. He had never seen anything like it. Then she turned to him, and for the first time she spoke. One word, in perfect English. "Thank you." Kai didn't answer, because behind them, far away but closing in, came the sound of engines. Search drones. The hunt had begun. The forest was no longer silent. A low hum filled the air, mechanical, sharp, like metal wings cutting through the wind. Kai didn't need to turn around. He knew what it was. Drones. They had found them. He grabbed her hand without thinking. It was cold, but strong. She didn't pull away. "Run," he said. They did. Branches snapped underfoot. Leaves flew behind them. Somewhere above, red lights flickered through the trees, scanning, hunting. The sound of the drones grew louder, closer, faster. She paused once, looking up at the sky. Her silver eyes narrowed. Her skin flickered with that strange blue glow again, like something inside her was waking up. Kai tugged her arm. No time. They reached a narrow path where the old fence had collapsed years ago. It led to the abandoned supply tunnels. Kai had hidden there once as a teenager, skipping work, avoiding people. Now it was saving his life. They crawled through the broken wire. Thorns tore Kai's arm. Blood. She saw it. Her hand moved toward the wound, soft glow, healing light. But he shook his head. Later. Just go. Inside the tunnel, it was dark and damp. Pipes hissed. Rats scattered. But it was safe for now. They walked deeper, their breaths echoing off the metal walls. She pointed ahead. Her fingers made a motion, a circle, then a slash through it. Kai didn't understand. I wish I knew what you were trying to say, he whispered. She stopped, turned to face him. Then from the side of her head, where the blue marks shimmered, something clicked. A small light, projection. Holographic symbols appeared in the air between them. Alien language, floating and moving like living data. Then it changed, translated itself. One line. They are coming for you, not just me. Kai stepped back. What do you mean? Why me? She showed another image. A star system, Earth-Sun. A wave moving toward it, like dark fire swallowing stars. Then, a figure. Not her kind. Tall, sharp, like walking armor. Not her enemy. Not her people. Something else. Kai stared at the vision. His voice broke. You came to warn us. She nodded once. They didn't listen, he said. They put you in a cage. She didn't answer. She didn't need to. A deep sound rolled through the tunnel. A heavy thump. Then another. Not drones. Footsteps. Soldiers. They were in the tunnels now. Kai turned to her, panic rising. What do we do? She looked around. Found a metal panel in the wall. Placed her hand on it. The light under her skin lit up. Brighter now. Brighter than ever before. The panel clicked. Opened. A hidden path. She stepped aside, letting him go first. He hesitated. You sure? He asked. She didn't speak, but her eyes said yes. They moved fast. Behind them, boots slammed against steel. Voices shouted. Flashlights bounced off the walls. Then, freeze! A beam of white light hit Kai's back. He turned, raising his hands. She pushed him aside. The soldier fired. But the blast never hit. She caught it. With her hand. Not with strength, but with energy. A shield made from light. Pure will. The soldier screamed. She's armed. Don't shoot. Kai yelled. She's protecting me. Too late. More shots. She blocked them all. Then raised her hand. Not to attack. To send a pulse. A single wave of sound and light. All the lights went out. Silence. Soldiers dropped their weapons, stunned. Not hurt. Just stopped. Kai couldn't breathe. She looked at him, calm. Then turned and ran. He followed. They didn't stop until the sun broke the sky. By the time they reached the edge of the mountain pass, the colony was miles away. Drones lost them. Soldiers too scared to follow. They sat near the cliff. The wind was cold. She looked at the sunrise. He looked at her. What now? He asked. She pointed to the stars. Then to his chest. Then placed the silver disc she gave him back into his hand. Another line appeared. You have to help me warn the rest. Kai closed his eyes. He had just become the enemy of his own world. And the only hope to save it. The sky looked peaceful. But she knew better. She had seen what was coming. Kai sat beside her on the edge of the cliff, holding the strange silver disc. It pulsed softly in his hand, like it was alive, like it was waiting. He looked over at her. Is this a weapon? He asked. She shook her head slowly. A new image glowed from the disc. A map again, but not of Earth. This time it showed a network of stars, connected by light. Then, one by one, those stars turned black. Swallowed. The image zoomed in. Earth was next. Kai swallowed hard. And no one knows? She drew 2 lines in the dirt. One for her kind. One for the enemy. Then a dot in between. Kai stared at the dot. That's us. She nodded. In the middle of a war we didn't start. He stood up, heart racing. We need to tell them. Everyone. But she didn't move. Instead, she placed 2 fingers on her temple, and her skin began to flicker with light, like signals moving under her skin. Kai stepped back. What are you doing? She closed her eyes. The disc floated from his hand, lifted by an invisible force. Then, it opened, like a flower made of light. Inside it was a message. Not sound, not speech. Memories, flashes, images. She was a child, looking up at a sky filled with fire. Her city burned. Her people ran. The enemy fell from above, like machines made of shadow. Then the voice came. Not hers, not human, but inside his head. We warned your leaders. They locked us away. Kai gasped. You tried before? She opened her eyes. Pain there. He looked at the disc again. It showed a ship. A large one. Hidden beneath the surface of the planet. Underground. Buried. Waiting. He pointed at it. Is that where we need to go? She gave a small nod. But her eyes said more. That going there wouldn't be easy. That others were already watching. That someone wanted this message to stay buried. Far below, in the colony's main tower, red lights began to spin. Someone had traced the energy burst from the disk. They were coming again. This time not with drones, but with warships. They moved quickly through the night, across rivers, through broken cities once filled with life. Now silent. People had left long ago when the stars began acting strange. She stopped once to touch a dead tree. Her hand glowed, and a single green leaf grew back. Kai stared. You can do that? She didn't answer. Not with words. She just kept walking. By morning, they reached the edge of an old facility. Fenced. Forgotten. Marked with warning signs. Kai knew this place. This is a black site, he whispered. No one goes in. She looked at him. They were going in. Inside, the dust was thick. Screens dead. Machines rusted. But she moved like she had been here before. She pressed her hand to a wall panel. Scanned her. Then a loud click, and the ground began to shake. A platform lowered beneath them deep underground. Kai held the railing tight, his legs weak, his heart louder than the machines. They reached a chamber hidden in the earth's skin. And there, floating in the dark, was the ship. Not her ship. Older. Built from both her world and something else. Something cold. Her glow dimmed as she walked toward it. This was not a place of safety. This was a grave. Kai looked around. What is this place? The ship opened. Inside, a large crystal core. Cracked. Flickering. And beside it, human writing. Kai leaned in close. It said, Project. Starfall. Status. Terminated. Reason. Contamination by unknown entity. He stepped back. This was Earth's ship, he said, stunned. You helped build it? And they shut it down. She didn't move. But the memory played in his mind again. Her people offered help. Earth responded with fear, locked the ship, buried the truth, and left her kind to die. Kai clenched his fists. We need to finish what they started. She looked up. The ship pulsed once. Awake. But as the lights flickered on, so did something else. A second signal. One not sent by her. Cold one. Mechanical. Watching. Waiting. And now, it knew they were here. The ship was alive now. Its lights flickered like an old heartbeat. Machines that hadn't moved in years slowly powered on. Cold air blew through vents. The ground rumbled beneath their feet. Kai stepped forward. Wires crawled along the walls. Screens lit up, showing faces, stars, symbols, names of people long gone. Human names. This place, Kai whispered. We were working with you. Weren't we? She didn't answer. She didn't have to. He could see it now. The broken alliance. The silence. The fear. Earth had trusted them once. Then shut the door and buried the truth. A slow humming began. The ship's core, that crystal in the center, started to spin, pulling in light, repairing itself. Kai watched, amazed. Then he heard it. A voice faint through static. Kai, do not move. His eyes widened. That voice, he knew it. Colonel Brandt. He turned. A group of armed soldiers stood at the edge of the platform. Guns raised. Faces hard. The woman didn't move. Her skin dimmed. No glow. No shield. Brandt stepped forward. Kai. You don't know what you're doing. I do, Kai said quietly. You lied to everyone. Brandt didn't blink. That creature isn't your friend. She's an infiltrator. She's manipulating you. No. She came to help. Brandt tilted his head. Is that what she told you? He pointed a small device toward her. Pressed a button. A sound cut through the air. High-pitched. Sharp. She dropped to her knees. Kai shouted, Stop! She has a signal core inside her, Brandt said. We've known that since the day we caught her. She was made to connect, to control. We shut her down once. We can do it again. Kai moved between them. I won't let you take her. Brandt sighed. You think this is about her? He waved a hand. More soldiers appeared. One of them, familiar. Dark hair. Worn jacket. Kai's old friend, Reese. Reese gave a small smile. Kai, he said, just come with us. You don't belong in this mess. Kai stared at him. You're working with them? I never stopped. But we trusted each other. I trusted you'd grow up, Reese said. Not fall for an alien. Behind them, the ship's lights began to shift. Something was changing. Brandt stepped closer. You can't stop this, Kai. She's dangerous. And you're just a mechanic. Then, a sound. Low. Growing. Not from the ship. From above. Reese turned. What is that? The woman, still weak, barely standing, opened her eyes. She whispered one word. They're here. The walls shook. The sky cracked open. Not thunder. Not warships. But something else. Dark shapes fell from the clouds. Fast. Sharp. Silent. Not human. Not her kind. Something worse. Brandt looked up, stunned. What the hell? The enemy had arrived. The very one she warned them about. And no one was ready. Screams echoed outside. Lights went dark. The ground cracked. Kai grabbed her arm. We have to go. She nodded, forcing herself up. Reese fired his gun. Kai dodged. The blast hit the wall behind him. The woman raised her hand. Not to attack, but to shield. A soft blue pulse pushed the soldiers back just enough. Kai! Brandt shouted. You're siding with it over your own people? Kai looked back, and answered not with words, but by slamming the door shut between them. He helped her down a narrow stairwell deep into the ship's lower deck. Alarms screamed above. Fires lit the sky outside the small viewport. She touched the core one last time, and it answered her. The ship lifted. Just a little. Not to escape, but to wake. Old systems returned to life. Screens flashed. Defense protocol unlocked. Primary pilot required. Genetic key. Accepted. Kai turned to her. It's responding to you. She looked at him, then placed her hand over his. A second key. Shared. The ship glowed brighter. Together they had triggered something ancient. Something built not for war, but for survival. But outside, the enemy was moving. And Earth had only just realized the truth. They had locked away their only warning. And now, they were out of time. Rain hit the metal roof like falling knives. The transport ship moved through the night sky. Low, silent, armored. Inside, she sat chained to the floor. Her skin, once glowing, was now dim. Weak, silent. 2 guards sat across from her. Guns ready. No words spoken. Just eyes filled with fear. They didn't know her name. They just called her the specimen. Across from them, Kai sat too. Hands tied, face bruised, heart racing. They had taken him after the ship's activation. Branded him a traitor. Thrown him in chains like her. They hadn't separated them. Big mistake. She turned her head slowly toward him. He looked back. No words. But their silence was louder than any scream. Above the clouds, Earth was burning. The invasion had begun. But the news was slow. Controlled. The truth still hidden. Only a few knew what was really falling from the sky. Only 2 people on this ship had seen it. Only 2 knew how to stop it. And they were prisoners now. An alarm beeped in the cockpit. "Unidentified object approaching," said the pilot. "Probably debris," the co-pilot muttered. It wasn't. A black shape dropped from the clouds, fast as a bullet. Then another, and another. "Evasive," the pilot shouted. But it was too late. The blast hit the wing. Fire spread. The ship tilted hard. Inside, chaos. The guards fell. One hit the wall. Unconscious. Kai rolled across the floor. His head slammed against the metal. Pain. Then cold. Then her voice. Not loud. Not spoken. Inside his mind. "Close your eyes." He did. Her body lit up like a star reborn. Chains melted. Her eyes glowed brighter than ever before. She rose, floating slightly, energy dancing around her fingers like light and fire mixed into one. The door ripped open. Wind screamed through the cabin. And she walked through it like a storm belonged to her. She reached Kai, touched his wrists. The metal turned to dust. He gasped. "I thought you were too weak." She looked at him. "You believed in me. That made me strong." The ship was falling. She grabbed Kai and jumped. Not down. They flew not fast, not far, but enough. They crashed into a field just before the ship exploded behind them. Fire lit the sky. Debris rained around them. She stood first. Helped him up. Kai looked around. Nothing but smoke. Then, from behind the fire, something moved. Not human. The enemy had followed. It walked through flame like it was home. Sharp, black, endless. No face, no sound. Only the hum of something ancient. Kai stepped back. "Run." She shook her head, then stepped forward. Alone. The enemy raised an arm. A beam of red light shot toward her. She raised hers too. Blue met red. Light crashed against light. But hers began to fade. She was still healing. Still weak. The enemy pushed harder. Kai screamed her name. She dropped to one knee. And then, he stepped forward. Between them, no weapon, no power, just himself. He didn't block the blast. He caught it with his chest. But it didn't burn him. It stopped. Because she had reached for him. Joined him. Energy passed from her into him. Through his skin, his blood, his soul. The light returned. Stronger. Together. They pushed. And the enemy shattered like glass. Silence. Then smoke. Then the stars above again. Kai fell to the ground, breathing hard. She knelt beside him, touched his chest. He was alive. She smiled. He laughed. "Did we just do that?" She didn't answer. But in her eyes something new. Not just survival. Hope. Far away others were watching. Some afraid. Some angry. But a few, finally starting to believe. The sky no longer belonged to Earth. Above every city, every ocean, every mountain they had arrived. Dark shapes, thousands of them, falling like silent knives. They didn't speak. They didn't make demands. They simply began to erase. Buildings turned to ash. Satellites vanished. Oceans boiled in silence. No mercy. No second chance. Earth had never seen a war like this. Because it wasn't a war. It was judgment. And in the middle of that storm, she stood. Not behind walls. Not in a cage. Not alone. She stood beside him, Kai, on the edge of the command tower, wind tearing at their faces, light swirling around their feet. The ship they woke now floated above them. Alive. Waiting. Not just a machine. A signal. A beacon. The last weapon Earth didn't know it had. She reached for it, her body glowing brighter than ever. But she paused. She looked at Kai, eyes asking. He stepped forward. "No, not just you." His hand met hers. The ship answered. Lights shot into the sky, blue and white, like stars reborn. The signal blasted into the clouds, across the planet. A message, not of war, of unity. In every military base, every bunker, every screen left working, her face appeared. Not a monster, not a threat, just her, standing beside Kai. and behind them the vision of what they had seen. The enemy, the fall of her world, the warning that Earth ignored, and the words, in simple human language, "She came to help, not to destroy. Now we fight together, or we fall alone." Some believed, some didn't, but belief didn't matter anymore. The enemy was already at the door, and only one choice remained. The last battle began near the Skyport ruins. Thousands of machines rained down, but this time, she met them in the air. Her hands glowed like suns. Her voice shook the clouds. She wasn't hiding now. She was leading. Kai worked below, guiding humans, building weapons, uniting soldiers and civilians who had once feared her. And when one of the enemy commanders, larger than any before, struck her down from the sky, Kai caught her, bloody, burned, barely breathing. "You're not dying here," he whispered. "You don't belong in a cage." She looked at him, eyes soft. One hand reached for his chest. A memory passed between them. Not words, just one moment. Of when he first gave her water. Of when she healed a child. Of when he said, "Come with me." She stood again, but this time not alone. Her people were gone. But Earth had become her people now. She rose into the air one final time. Energy tore through the sky. The ship, no longer just a machine, followed her. Together they became light, pure, burning, living light. And with that light, the enemy was pushed back. Not destroyed, not forever, but enough. Enough for Earth to breathe again. The war didn't end that day, but the story did. The story of the monster in the cage, the alien woman, the broken mechanic, and how one act of kindness lit a fire big enough to hold back the dark. Now, children learn her name in school. Statues stand where she once fought, and deep in space, where no humans have ever gone, a signal still travels carrying her story, just in case someone else is listening, just in case someone else is locked in a cage.